Welcome to the Courage to Live podcast. My name is Josh Bitsko, and I'm a retired police captain with 24 years of experience out of Las Vegas. Currently, I travel the country and I teach people about courage, resilience, and leadership. Joined by my wife and co host, Jenna.
Hi.
And today's podcast, we're actually going to talk about something both of us experienced and other friends have experienced about when you do take a risk and start a business, maybe even related to what you're doing. Like, like law for us, we primarily teach law enforcement. We do other things and teach businesses as well. But, that being adjacent to what you did before can create some turmoil. And we're going to talk about that.
Or a nonprofit or any kind of it's not just about starting a business I think it's more when you go out and you take a risk and you do something that maybe nobody else is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And stepping out on that skinny branch, right? I think, but before we get into it, we can talk about a pretty interesting experience we had at a restaurant when we were there.
Yeah, let's talk about that, but first maybe talk about what we were doing in California.
Yeah. So we got hired to provide for tabletop exercises to different counties in Northern California. And, I have a lot of experience doing tabletops at, my old job.
Well, I don't think most people know what tabletops are.
Oh, good point. It really, you sit down with, like, you come up with a scenario, like, let's say a natural disaster, like a wildfire or a flood, and you take everybody in the same room that would have a part to do with that. So, like, let's say it's a flood, for example, you would have like the Department of Utilities and the fire department and the police department and all of the different people involved, get them in the same room and you run through that exercise as if it's actually happening.
So
And
that everybody understands what their roles and responsibilities would be.
yeah, and you test plans and like, okay, if this were to happen, what can everybody else in the room do to support? And it takes, 4 or 5 hours to run through all of it. And, it's very intensive. I try to do it as low stress as possible, but I like getting people a little bit stressed out to talk about it. And because in real life, you're going to be stressed out and replicating the chaos that happens, even in a command post.
Well, and you identify gaps so that they're able to work on these gaps before they're dealing with an actual disaster.
Yeah, we did 4 and 5 days.
Yes.
So there's a lot of back end work. We had, handbooks that we handed out that you created. I had a script, which I didn't follow a whole lot because they just change as you go along. And it was really interesting. But in each one, they did identify a training gap that they
Or
needed to work
multiple.
on or multiple.
Yeah.
And at the end, like, hey, that was really good. We didn't even realize that if this happened, we wouldn't be prepared in this way. And so it was successful for, our first big foray into tabletop exercises on the private side. Like we did it for in our professional lives with the police department. But now doing it like this, it was interesting. It was fun. It was stressful. It was a lot of work, but
Yeah.
we got it done.
Yeah. I think it was a good experience
Yeah.
for both of us.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And really to work through, doing it in this way compared to how I used to do it.
Mhm.
And, you bringing everything together and, making sure we're staying on track. So,
It's really my job in this business,
yeah,
making sure we're staying on track.
yeah, exactly. Um,
What would you call that? Am I like a handler?
handler. I mean, I wouldn't, I can go with that. Handler, we need to get new business cards printed for you.
Wrangler?
Right, Jenna Bitsko, Wrangler of Cats.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Well, what happened so we were at dinner one night at a restaurant we didn't know this area at all, but it's apparently more affluent, and which, I mean, we could tell when we walked in the restaurant, but, um, we eat our meal, and we paid the check already.
Mhm.
I just needed to use the restroom before we left, so, to Josh's left, because we were sitting at the bar, there were 3 ladies, probably I'd say late 40s, early 50s probably.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And so I get up to go to the bathroom, and mind you, these ladies had not said a word the whole night
Correct.
to us. So I get up to go to the bathroom, and I'll let you take it from here.
As soon as you went to the bathroom, one of the ladies leaned over and like, "Hey, would you like to buy us a drink?" And I'm like, "Pardon me?" And it's like, "Well, you know, we're here our company only lets us expense a certain amount, and we're over that. Do you wanna buy us a drink?" And I kinda chuckled. I looked at the bathroom to see if you were coming out because I wasn't trying to, like, break up a fight. And, I said, "Here's what I need you to do. I just need you to reach in your purse. I'm sure you have a card in there that doesn't have the company name and your name in it. Pull that out and you can buy you guys drinks."
Mhm.
And they kinda nervously laughed, and then you got back and we left.
Yeah, and I can say in the entire time we've been together, we've never had that has never been an experience.
No, no.
So,
It was, on our way out, I did lean over and was like, "Enjoy buying your own drinks," and walked out.
well, first he said to me when I got back, I'm getting my purse, and getting my coat on, and he's like, "I'm gonna need you to trust me," and I'm like, "Oh my okay, like, this can't be good."
Yeah.
So, then as we're walking out, "Enjoy buying your own drinks, ladies," and I was like, "What?" So then he explained it all to me in the car
As we were driving away.
as we were driving away before I could get out of the vehicle. So,
Yeah.
I hope if those ladies are out there, I hope you enjoyed buying your own drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, you know, it's a fun story.
Women supporting women, you know?
I didn't get recognized as a celebrity like you did when we talked about in our last podcast,
It's true.
but, you know, I'll take it.
Yeah,
So
right.
so for this podcast, I mean, really, it came up because I had a friend text me
Mhm.
who he works for a first responder agency across the country, and, you know, someone we've met through our travels and through our business. And he's like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, "Did you ever experience issues with," and he kind of put it weird at first, with the reactions of your coworkers when you started your company? Because it was very he started a foundation,
A
um,
nonprofit.
a nonprofit while he's still working. And we did the same thing. I started this company while I was still with the police department. And he's like, "Did you experience like issues?" And I asked him, "What do you mean by issues? Like judgmental?" And he's like, "Yes, exactly." And I was like, "Oh yeah, buckle up." Because, you know, he had a lot of people were, you know, whispering behind his back and, "Oh, look at him, he's doing this." And, you know, it happened with us too. And but we had this whole conversation about how when you step out on that skinny branch and you take a risk for something you're passionate about, you know, finding your purpose, as we talked about in the last podcast, um, a lot of other people are gonna have intense reactions to it, right? They're going to, you know, say things out of jealousy or their own insecurities. But, you know, every large company, I can really speak mostly to law enforcement. It's like a high school, right? Like everybody is like they're talking and saying things and gossiping, and it really is just that's the nature of it. And you know, I wanted to help him through it, but also explain like, yes, this is completely natural. It will definitely keep happening, but you know that you have your purpose. And just, you know, honestly, like what I say all the time and a big theme of the book is just keep going.
Mhm.
And, you know, but I think the core of it is, well, there's really two reasons in my experience why that happens, right? You have people that are jealous, right? They're jealous that they didn't do what you're doing. They didn't think of it, and they see, oh, there's value to what you're doing, but they're jealous about it. Or the other side of it is, you know, they have their own insecurities because they realize they couldn't do it. Because I think both of you and I realize how much work it actually takes to finding your purpose and then, you know, putting all of your heart and soul into it. Like we have, like he's doing currently. And but it can be really off-putting.
It can yeah, because exactly what you said. People are jealous, and where does that jealousy stem from? It stems from insecurity, it stems from fear, and I think it it can be off-putting to people who are either just negative in general, but also maybe they haven't found their purpose. So because they're lost, because they have no sense of who they are, they're going to criticize or make fun of
Mhm.
other people, right?
Yeah. And, you know, I think some of that is human nature. Um, but there is value in continuing to push forward with it. Like I said, we had when we started this business. We made a website with both of our experience and everything we were offering and everything we were doing. And I mean, I knew for a fact that that link was getting passed around the department. Oh, look what they're doing. Look at this. They're trying to monetize, you know, their experiences, my experience, the shooting, the 1 October shooting that I've talked about. I was trying to take advantage of that. And I think a lot of that too, like you talked about, was that fear of their own limitations or jealousy because we both have purpose. I believe in using those experiences to help other people.
Well, and I think too in our friend's situation, in your situation, both of you have gotten many accolades for different, different areas of your job. So like after 1 October, literally everybody wanted to be your friend. I mean, you couldn't get away fast get away fast enough from people because everybody you were the cool guy, right? So like you're out there, you're getting all these accolades, you have all these people that really want to be your friend. And as time went on, I think you were able to see a little bit that a lot of those people just wanted to be your friend because they wanted something from you, right? And same with him. Like he's done a lot of really great things. He's been, kind of the popular guy.
Mhm.
And so I think too it can be a hard transition when you've done a lot of great things or you've been like the cool person. Then when you go out and you take a risk or you grow
Mhm.
and you start changing and you start, becoming and stepping into who you're meant to be, I think that can be really off-putting to people also.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I think there's this trope of misery loves company, right? Like I'm working the same job and I, hate my life, maybe not that extreme, but I want you to have that same experience. And when you start growing into the person you're supposed to be and doing things that are risky, and then starting even more when you start to have success, then other people are going to be put off by that, those people. And then there's the people that want to celebrate your successes.
It's a very small circle of people
Well, yeah, and
who
that's what,
genuinely want to celebrate your success is we've both found are very small.
well, and what happened naturally because our purpose was so strong, we didn't let other people's opinions or what they're saying or talking about derail us. We kept pushing forward. Naturally, our circle had to get smaller.
Yeah.
And
Well, but I do think it's okay, maybe this is just like a me opinion, but I do think with men, I think it's more like in your face. Like men will make fun of other men, when they're doing something risky, doing something different than what they've always done. Men, if the people that are misery loves company, they'll just make fun of you to your face, or they'll tell you you're cringy, or they'll criticize you, or whatever. Women typically don't do that. They are all about, yeah, girl boss, like keep girl bossing. And then they will go behind your back. So I do think, they'll just try to cut you down, but not to your face. So I do think there is a difference too with like men, it is like so right in your face, right? And so I think that's a little bit of what he's going through. You went through that same thing. I experienced it very differently. It was always behind my back, and I think that is a difference between men and women, but I think a little bit of too, and you went through this. It's like I think there's such a hard mindset shift of like, "Oh, wait, remember I was doing all these really great things and everybody told me I was doing these great things. Why aren't you telling me this is great? Because this is a really good thing that I'm doing." And there just has to be, I think, a mindset shift of like not not many people are going to share your same vision and purpose and passion for what your own purpose is in life, right? You are the only one.
Mm.
And you and I on this venture, this is our passion, this is our dream, this is our purpose. And no one else is going to share that same feeling about it, right?
Right. Yeah, and that was hard because I was so proud of what we were doing. I wanted to, like, look at this and what we're doing, and when I didn't get that reaction that I thought I should have gotten, then I'm like, "Ooh, that kinda hurts." And, I mean, I think like you said, there was differences in what we experienced rooted in the same thing, but, for me, it's like, "Oh, I'm sharing this. Oh, yeah, that's cool," or, "Ooh, that's really cringy, dude," or whatever, people said. And so I had a really large friend group, and that started to whittle down, especially professionally. But I'll tell you, those people that are cheering on your successes, those people that are willing to help you, not for any reason other than they believe in you and they're your friend, are some of the most valuable people. And, I'll tell you, we have a couple that help us out with the business really because they believe in it and they believe in us. And they're just, good people that we can both call with our, stresses and our low moments, or, hey, I need you to fly here with me and help me with this. And we're still growing. So, I can pay you a little, but not, it's not crazy yet. And they're like, yeah, of course. I got you. You don't have to pay me at all. Like those friends like that become even more valuable. So although our circle has really shrunk, it has also become really strong. And and that is that natural progression if you keep going. But a lot of people don't. That gets so much. I mean, we had a whole podcast on what other people think, right? And I think it was fear in personal life or fear in profession is how that can paralyze you. And that's why it's so important when you find that passion that you keep going, because like you said, you're the only one with that passion. You're the only one with that purpose. And other people can help you or try and hinder you. And you just have to have faith in yourself that, hey, I'm going to keep going with this because I believe in what I'm doing. And we also saw that transition as we have become busier and more successful. Some of the same people that were, passing around the website or clips from the podcast or whatever are now reaching out like, hey, can I help with this? Can I be part of this? And, our answer is no, usually. Like we have our circle, those people we trust that now we'll bring in. But it's it's that progression of, and I saw this somewhere. It's at first they're going to make fun of you, and then they're going to start telling people where they met you. Like, that idea of those same people that are, trying to hold you down are then starting to try and be part of it. And that natural progression, we've seen it happen. And that's what I shared with our friend is, hey, this is how this works. Just keep pushing forward, keep doing what you believe in, and ultimately you'll get there.
I think you actually part of it was quoting Kobe Bryant, who I cannot stand. But I will say, I mean, I did not enjoy watching him. I am a big basketball fan, not a Laker fan.
And you hate the Lakers.
I absolutely do. So, I did not enjoy watching him play because I couldn't stand his cocky attitude, but I will say his mindset, like, you couldn't beat it. So, anyway, I think what was the quote you shared with him?
Never met a hater doing better than me.
Yeah.
And you had about that same reaction when I told him that. But, we'll think about it. Kobe Bryant was the guy that was, even when he was one of the best in the world, was still waking up at 4 in the morning and practicing. I mean, Steph Curry, I'll throw it your way for the Warriors, does the same thing. I saw something about how he still practices shooting and has a whole series that he goes through, starting from right at the basket, working back, hundreds of shots each way. I mean, it's that keep going mindset and shutting out the noise around you because you believe in what you're doing. But yeah, never met a hater doing better than me. I was gonna work that into the podcast.
Were you?
I think I was gonna close off with it because it's so powerful. For anybody that really wants an insight into that mindset, you have to watch The Redeem Team. I think it's on Netflix, about the Olympic team after they lost one year, then they put the team together, and it's Dwayne Wade and LeBron and Kobe, and I
Many
really
of the
enjoyed it.
players that I don't and never did enjoy, but still to this day, Josh is trying to convince my brother and I to watch Redeem Team, which we refuse. So,
All kidding aside, though, that is where I learned about Kobe's mindset more than anything I knew before. So check it out. Leave a comment about
My
how great it
goodness.
is. Tell Jenna she should watch it also. So it's not just coming from me.
We have a Redeem Team poster in our garage, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, I love it.
But I think staying I think the biggest thing for me, it's funny that we did this podcast last week on finding your purpose, and then you had this conversation with him this week. I also you already kinda mentioned it, but I was venting to one of the very few people in my inner circle about something that happened with our business that, like, really irritated me with somebody that would like to come work for us, and so I was venting to her about it, and that's what she said is not no one else besides you and Josh is going to share that same passion. Nobody else is going to share that vision, that purpose. And so you have to get out of the mindset and that expectation that everybody is going to see your business the same way you do and see your purpose the same way you do. And so I just think that that hit me. That really did help me shift my mindset a lot on it that I can't have this expectation that everybody needs to share my view on my purpose the way that I do, because it's just not a reality, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same for him, and he's learning it and going through it. We've learned it, we've gone through it, and I think just being able to feel those emotions, it's hard to go through. It is hard to see the reality of who you thought were your friends are actually not. That is a really hard thing to come to grips with, and it was really hard for you with some people that you were close to, that you thought were your good friends, that have now over time really not shown up for you,
Mhm.
and that's a hard thing to come to grips with. I mean, you're losing what you thought was a friendship, right? And I think he's going through that too, so, like, grieving those people and friendships that you thought were close to you, that you thought supported your purpose and your mission, and staying on your path, and then really growing those friendships and those relationships that really do support who you are as a human, support what your goal, what your purpose is, and getting used to that being a very small circle.
Yeah, and in the last podcast, and I know we keep calling back to that, but these two are so related. Um, we talked about how finding your purpose isn't a one-time thing, right? It's a you have to continually work at it. I mean, even look at us, how we the core purpose of what we're doing has stayed the same. But there's been so many shifts in our business and what we offer and what we're doing because we're constantly reevaluating. We're constantly using that purpose to drive us. And talking about it and talking about the wins and how we've helped certain people and the ones that are really right in our face, like in the last podcast we talked about. And that is, if you are continually working on that purpose and, making sure it's driving your decisions, it quiets that noise from the people around you. It quiets those feelings of, yeah, I did lose this person I thought was a friend, but they were a fair weather friend. And I mean, when that was happening at the beginning, you had a really good quote that you talked about, um, that I think really kind of brought to light how to evaluate those relationships with people that I had.
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher this because I don't remember the exact quote, but the general idea was if you think of yourself as a tree, there are going to be people that are gonna wanna just pick the fruit off the tree, and then there's gonna be others that are there watering the soil or nurturing the soil, whatever, to help you grow. And so I actually said that to you when we were both working at Metro a long time ago because I could see some of those people who were just picking the fruit, and
Mhm,
they were people that were really close to you, but they never showed up for you.
mhm.
And it was really, I think, made very clear to you when you had your book launch and those people didn't even show up.
Yeah.
And so, like, that to me is just, like, the epitome of, like, yes, you have people that are gonna pick the fruit from the tree because they can get something from you, or you're gonna have the people that are watering the soil that are only doing it to help you grow because they care about you.
Well, and yeah, there were people that were also at the book launch that had been there since the beginning,
Yep.
watering the soil, helping out, helping me grow, helping us grow. And then
Those were
there
the same people that showed up when your dad passed away,
correct.
right? Those were the same people who, for me, like, that have been there for my whole life. And
Mhm,
so those are the people that are helping us grow,
mhm.
not picking the fruit from the tree.
Yeah. And I think that focusing on that and seeing the strength in that helps you really just keep going
Yeah.
with it.
So
And
if you're
yeah,
out there, you're wanting to take a leap, you're wanting to take a risk, you want to do something you've never done or start a business or start a nonprofit, just I just would really encourage you to keep going. Know that you will when you step into your purpose, you will lose friends. You will, or people who you thought were your friends. And that's really hard. And it's a hard thing to come to grips with. But if you are willing to grow and willing to be uncomfortable and willing to outgrow people who are just picking the fruit, then you'll be able to really step into your purpose.
yeah, and also just remember when the noise gets the loudest, it might or probably means you're on the right track,
Yeah.
right? Because you are stepping out on that skinny branch, you are taking that risk, you are doing something you believe in. And if it was completely worthless or dumb, I think people wouldn't care as much.
Yeah.
So, that could be a good litmus test that you're on the right path.
And remember, you'll never see a hater doing better than you.
It's I've never met a hater doing
Whatever.
better than me.
Whatever.
Kobe Bryant, Josh Bitsko.
Yes.
Well, appreciate you listening to the podcast. If there's you like what we're talking about, my book, The Courage to Live, explores a lot of these themes a lot more. But if you liked it, leave a review, share the podcast with a friend, leave a comment, maybe about how you watched the Redeem Team and how great it was.
Yeah, please. I'd love to see the 2 people out there besides you that have watched it.
And thank you for spending time with us today.